Welcome back to Warriors Weekly, now the Fitz Files with Bob Fitzgerald.
Well, on this edition of the Fitz Files, we find ourselves in Memphis, Tennessee, in front of the Civil Rights Museum. And sure, now Memphis, we could go to Graceland, check out Elvis the King. Certainly B.B. King's place is about a couple blocks from here. But the Civil Rights Museum really honors Dr. Martin Luther King, just a fascinating figure in American history and really the charismatic leader of the Civil Rights Movement. And it's hard to believe that we're only 40 or 50 years removed from some amazing and often poor times here in the United States. Where we've come as a country and a society is really an amazing journey over those 4 decades, but certainly something that needs to continue on a daily basis. We sat down with so many of the Warrior players and asked them just what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. means to them.
It gave me an opportunity to believe that I could achieve what it is I need to achieve, that I will have opportunities if I do things the right way, and when I make a mistake, apologize for those mistakes and then move forward. So I think that's one thing that I take from that.
Well, he influenced my life because of all the things we have now. Being able to be in the same room with white people of a different race, being able to play in public arenas the way we're doing right now, just in general, just being able to walk down in the street and know that, you know, it's peaceful on the streets.
The thing that stood out for me is just really what he was trying to do at that time, the sacrifices and the things that he went through for people of color right now today, and all of, you know, bringing people together. That was really important that I saw that too, that he wanted everybody, all the little boys and girls, to be able to play together and as one. And I think that was the most important thing I got out of that, is that we're all humans and we're all the same.
We can never be satisfied as long as our body is heavy with the fatigue of travel, cannot gain lodging in the motels of the highways and the hotels of the cities.
I mean, he means so much to me just because of the opportunities that he's given me, you know, and so many people like me. You know, it's crazy because my dad, when he was growing up just a generation ago, he wasn't able to go to hotels and he had to go to the back door restaurants and that kind of thing. And I'm just able to, it's not even a thought to me. So Martin Luther King was the one who speared the whole thing and started it. And you have to just be in awe at everything that he did and the stature that he had, because he wasn't, you know, he wasn't a president or he wasn't a celebrity or he didn't have a bunch of money. He was just a guy, you know, who just went out there and did it.
Being, you know, one of the first leaders of the Civil Rights Movement, and I guess being that spokesperson and the one that, you know, really raised his voice for equal rights, and you know, that means a lot to me for you know, the last 40, 50 years where things have changed a lot in our country, and all that is based on his works.
Well, some interesting thoughts from people around the NBA and the Warriors, but if you look at where sports is, it's the ultimate meritocracy. Doesn't matter your color, really your country or ethnic origin. If you can play or contribute, your ability and acumen really is the reason you're in the NBA. Whether it's owning a team like Bob Johnson of the Bobcats, being in the front office like Rod Higgins or Alvin Adels, being a coach or a player in this league, the NBA has always been not about the color of your skin, but the content of your character and certainly your ability to contribute to this amazing game. That'll do it for the Fitz Files. We'll see you next time.
Hi, this is Corey Maggette, and you're watching Warriors Weekly.
In part 2 of our Warriors profile, we sat down with Vladimir Radmanovich in Bob's basement, aka the Players Lounge, after a recent practice to talk about his adjustment when he entered the NBA, as well as his role with the Warriors.
We're here in the Warriors Player Lounge, and they want me to call it Bob's basement. I'm not going to do that, but actually it's catchy. Vladimir Radmanovich is our guest, and this is a good chance for Warrior fans to get to know you a little bit. You're one of 82 international players that are playing in the NBA. Have you seen the dramatic increase in international players, and what about your first jump over after you're drafted by Seattle to where a guy comes now who's from a foreign country? Is it a big adjustment, more commonplace? I know the foreign guys, you were talking to Peja Stojakovic when we played New Orleans a couple weeks ago, there's that camaraderie when you come from overseas.
Well, I didn't know there's that many of us. Obviously, over the last 6, 7, 8 years, the number increased rapidly, and I can't really tell you what's the reason. Obviously, basketball is getting stronger in Europe, and players are getting more athletic. I think that's one of the major reasons why you have so many international players in the NBA. It's not only Europeans, I think it's players from all over the world, so you can't call us all Europeans. But it's tough change when you come from different country, wherever you come from, to the United States. It's a culture shock. At least it was for me.
How is it, and I was able to keep up with this primarily through basketball, in that Vlade Divac and Toni Kukoc were really good friends, and the Yugoslavian national team was a phenomenal collection of basketball players. But Vlade had said, because of Serbian and Croatian, that his friendship with Toni Kukoc it altered it dramatically because of the political conflict. Has that been reconciled over the years? I mean, are guys that are Serbian and Croatian that knew each other through basketball, can they be friends again, or is it still pretty rough?
I mean, obviously, if you're a friend with somebody and then two countries went to war, as much as you're trying to be a friend, especially people that are well known, like basketball players and celebrities, it's hard for you to keep in touch with somebody who's from the other country, because whether you want to admit or not, you're going to be judged by your people, and then that person is going to be judged by their people. And I mean, you can do it secretly, but it's a really hard thing to do.
Is the Bay Area, from Seattle, then you're with the Clippers briefly, then the Lakers and Charlotte, you've seen the Bay Area as a visiting player. San Francisco in this area, is it something that attracted you, and now you're here for a while? Do you like this area?
Well, I have to say I like West Coast for some reason. I think I know what's the reason, being here my whole career. And then I was in Charlotte, as you know, for a short period of time. And I can't say I didn't like it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I do here. And I lived in some great cities, I have to admit. Seattle, if we scratch the weather off the list, it's a really nice city. And then I've been in LA for 3.5 years, so no complaints.
You got a little Serbian phrase maybe I could throw out there and sound like I know what I'm doing?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Is that tough a language?
It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough.
How would I say hello in Serbian?
First I have to ask you a question. Can you say R?
R? No?
Does it sound right? R.
R.
Okay.
All right. That's okay?
Okay. That's the beginning.
That's the beginning.
So I'm gonna tell you the word now.
I'm ready.
It's zdravo.
Bravo. Yeah, exactly. That's going to be a tough one. It's going to be bad flag.
We got to practice. We got to practice it.
We will work on the Serbian before the end of the year.
Zdravo means hello.
Zdravo means slow?
Hello.
Say it again.
Zdravo.
Zdravo.
Yeah.
All right. Zdravo to you. Vladimir Radmanovic with us on Warriors Weekly.